Struggle love. Inanna would never. Sacred content warning. Beloved, before we begin, please know that today's lesson carries themes of emotional betrayal, grooming, struggle love, abandonment, toxic relationships, heartbreak, and generational trauma, especially as it relates to Black women. If you are currently healing from love addiction, abuse, childhood wounds, or abandonment, please listen with tenderness and care. My intention is not to re traumatize, but to help you name what hurt you and remember who you are. This is a sacred container. You are safe to pause. You are safe to feel. You are safe to leave if this may potentially trigger you. I honor what's best for you while holding space for your truth. And above all, you are not alone. Let us begin. Introduction. What is struggle love? Whew. Okay, y'all. So, struggle love is the emotional grooming of women to accept pain as a prerequisite for intimacy, especially in the Black community. For generations, women have been taught that love means suffering, that devotion requires sacrifice, endurance, and pain. We've been conditioned to believe that if a relationship is difficult, if it drains us, if it breaks us down, then it must be real love. Because anything too easy couldn't possibly be deep or meaningful. But what if love didn't have to hurt? What if love could be nurturing, expansive, sovereign, without chaos, betrayal, or loss? This is where Inanna's myth shatters everything we've been told. Because one thing about Inanna, she would never stay in the underworld for any man. Welcome to the Dark Mother Mysteries, the temple where the sacred, the sovereign, and the shadow parts of womanhood are remembered, honored, and restored. Who am I? I am Shadow Moon, priestess, oracle, and headmistress of the Sacred Mystery School. This is a space where we reclaim the lost feminine, honor the divine dark mother, and restore balance to a world that has forgotten its roots. If you are reclaiming your power, rejecting societal conditioning, and walking the sovereign path of the dark feminine, you are home. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to this channel because here we rise in truth. Lesson 1: How women are groomed to equate love with suffering. From the moment you are young, women are trained to endure. We are told that love means patience, unconditional loyalty, forgiveness, even in the face of mistreatment and abuse. Fairy tales show women waiting for men to change. Romance movies depict toxic cycles as passion, and real life conditions us to stay, suffer, and hold it together because we are taught that a good woman never gives up on love. This belief system is not natural, it is designed. It is taught through patriarchal structures, generational conditioning, and societal messaging. And it keeps women locked in cycles of struggle love, believing that pain is necessary for love to feel real. So many of us have heard this message in our homes, churches, and even love songs, and especially on TV. We sing along to ballads about begging for someone to come back or stay through cheating because love conquers all. But let's go deeper than conditioning. Let's talk about how the struggle love doctrine has infiltrated the soul of the Black woman. We're not just dealing with romantic disappointment, we are dealing with generational programming. Many Black women were raised in homes where the masculine was absent, wounded, or abusive. We were handed down stories of betrayal, abandonment, and survival from our mothers and grandmothers. We were raised on TV shows like Love and Hip Hop, The Real Housewives of insert whichever toxic franchise you can think about, Empire, Power, or any Tyler Perry stage play or show that's glorified drama and dysfunction. We sang along to R&B songs that equated heartbreak with devotion. Not Gonna Cry by Mary J. Blige. I Should Have Cheated by Keisha Cole. Love Should Have Brought You Home Last Night by Tony Braxton, etc. Those weren't just songs, those were rituals of sorrow, spells we didn't know we were casting. Mm, 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 mm. And let's be honest, movies like Baby Boy, Jason's Lyric, Menace to Society taught us that real love meant taking care of a man child, fighting over loyalty, being degraded but staying anyway. These weren't just struggle love stories, they were mental programming. And when you feed the mind enough toxicity, the spirit begins to accept it as normal. But Inanna shows us a different way. Her story begins in beauty, power, and sovereignty. She is the queen of heaven. She is adorned, desired, and divine. But she is not naive. When her path takes her to the underworld, she does not go for a man, she goes for herself. And that right there is where the story shifts. Lesson two, Inanna's refusal to stay in the underworld for any man. The underworld is not a metaphor for a breakup, it's deeper than that. It's the place where everything you thought made you valuable is stripped away. Inanna passes through 7 gates. At each one, she is required to remove something sacred: her crown, her necklace, her breastplate, her ring, her scepter, her robe, her identity. By the time she reaches her sister Erishkigal, Inanna is naked, not just physically, but symbolically. This is what happens in real life too. When a woman enters a toxic relationship or loses herself to a man's world, she is stripped of her voice, her joy, her body, and of her connection to herself. Some women stay there, stuck in shame, lost in betrayal, wrapped in silence, but Inanna didn't stay. She dies in the underworld. Yes, she is hung on a hook. She is also resurrected. She doesn't beg to stay in a place that broke her. She doesn't settle into her sorrow. She is called back to the life of her priestesses, her allies, and her divine right to live. She reclaims herself and she leaves. How many of us need to hear this today? You are allowed to leave the place that broke you. You are allowed to rise after your lowest moment. You are allowed to say, I'm not staying there. This is the end for me. Love doesn't live here anymore. I got to go. And Anna's story tells us descent is sacred, but so is the return. Lesson three, Dumuzi's betrayal and the power of choosing yourself. When Inanna returns from the underworld, she finds Dumuzi, her beloved consort, sitting on her throne. Whew. He is not mourning. He is not grieving. He is not even relieved to see her. He is comfortable. He has moved on. This moment breaks the fantasy that love is always mutual. It reveals the hard truth. Some men love your light, but not your process. Some men want your crown, but not your darkness. Some men celebrate your absence. And what does Inanna do? Y'all, she doesn't cry. She doesn't beg Dumuzi. She doesn't even argue with the man. Did she stay hoping he would change? Nope. She chose herself. She assigns him to take her place in the underworld. Now let me tell you now, That now that's a bold move, y'all. She assigns this man to take her place in the underworld. Let that sink in. This is a story about reciprocity, about consequences, about the sacred rage of a woman who has seen death in return, only to realize that the man she loved didn't even value her. And Nana didn't just choose herself, she demanded accountability. She said, if I die for this love, you're going to see what that death cost me. So many women come back from emotional death to find the man they suffered for moved on, he's forgotten about them, or replaced them. This is what makes Inanna different from the narratives we are fed about love. Instead of clinging to betrayal, making excuses for him, or sacrificing her well being, she enforced her consequences. She did not let a man define her worth, and neither should we. Inanna teaches us if he doesn't honor your depth, he doesn't deserve your return. Lesson 4, reclaiming love without pain, chaos, or self abandonment. So many of us believe that love has to feel overwhelming, that if it doesn't consume us, it's not even real. But true love, it expands you, it nourishes you, it honors you. Anana's lesson is simple but profound. Sovereign women do not stay where their power is stripped, and they don't stay where love was never there. Inanna does not become bitter, she becomes sovereign. She does not swear off love, but she redefines it. She teaches us, she teaches us one, that love does not, that love does not mean chaos. Two, that intimacy does not require self-sacrifice. Ladies, get out of the sacrifice seat. Three, that a throne is not meant to be shared with someone who would betray you. Struggle love is not sacred. It is a trauma loop. It is a generational curse. It is a systemic wound, and we are the ones chosen to end it. Inanna reminds us love is a sanctuary, not a battlefield. Love is mutual, not martyrdom. Love is expansion, not erosion. You are not here to shrink yourself. You're not here to bleed endlessly in the name of loyalty. You're not here to be a ride or die chick. Hell no. You are, y'all, you are not here to die for a man who will not even weep for your absence. Reclaiming love means refusing to accept suffering as proof of devotion. It means choosing partners who honor, uplift, and respect you, not those who drain or control you. Because love should feel like freedom. Because divinity should not ever require your destruction. Because Inanna would never. Lesson 5, the never have I ever struggle love score. So now I want to switch it up and play a little game. I'm going to read out a prompt and a numerical score will be applied to each. Award yourself points for every struggle of deed you've done. If you haven't done it, don't give yourself any points for it, okay? And at the end, I want you to add up your total score to see where you are and post it in the comments below. So these are going to be equaling 10 points apiece, okay? So never have I ever. So if you've done it, give yourself 10 points. If you haven't, don't score it. Bonded with a partner over childhood pain. Use religion, spirituality, philosophy to excuse my own mistreatment. Ignored red flags in a potential partner. Played therapist, savior, or second mother to my partner. Lowered my standards for love. stay in an unhealthy relationship just to save face or say, I got a man. Took on his healing as your responsibility. Took it upon yourself to solve your partner's problems. Been involved with a man who lacked both employment and a stable residence. Mm. Been involved with a man who has multiple baby mamas. Y'all, I scored 100. And listen, y'all, I used to be deep in the struggle love. Oh my gosh. Whew. Now, each one of these actions is not a reflection of weakness, it's a reflection of conditioning. So I don't want you to feel bad about this because I just want you to know you can come out of this. And here's what Inanna teaches us: the descent into the underworld is not a punishment, it's a reckoning. And it's not your job to stay in hell just because you once called it love. Okay? So I want you to reflect on your scoring and then work on coming out of this, okay? Because that's what this is all about. In closing, to every woman who has been taught that love means suffering, may this be your liberation. To every daughter who watched her mother sacrifice her soul for a man, may you break the pattern. To every soft hearted woman who believed that staying meant strength, may you find power in your departure. And to the goddess within you, may she rise crowned, never again confused about what love is supposed to be or feel like. If this resonated with you, drop a comment down below. What lessons from Inanna's myth speaks to you the most? Let's dismantle the myth that love requires suffering. Let's reclaim sovereignty, sacred, nourishing love, excuse me. Until next time, I am Shadow Moon, mistress, oracle, and priestess of the Dark Mother Mystery School, signing off. Class is dismissed.